500 ya Starsat na page ra Galaxy Universal Network eka Facebook. Ndzi xeweta na valanguti lava humaka ematikweni mambe laha tikwenikulu ra Afrika. A hi languteni mahungu lawa ya rhangeke emahlweni. Premier wa le Gauteng u yile exibedhlele xa Baragwana. Holobye na Mthethwa u vile na wellness ya ta mitlangu na swa ndhavuko. Mfumo wa le Congo wu endzerile vandyangu wa lava va nga lahlekeriwa. Hi sungula mahungu ya siku. Premier wa le xifundzeninkulu xa Gauteng David Makhura u endzerile xibedhlele xa le Chris Hani Baragwana ku va a ya kambisisa ntirho lowu nga kona wa misawutiso ya xitsongwatsongwana xa COVID-19. Premier Makhura xikan'we na MEC wa swa rihanyo Dr. Mugeti va tivisile vateki va mahungu exibedhlele xa Chris Hani Baragwana hi swa riendzo ra vona. A hi languteni.
Well, since the 10th of February, when we visited this as one of the sites that went live in the rollout of these early phases of the vaccine, which includes the study, a lot of lessons have been drawn. I just want to say first that in Gauteng province today, we will complete all the 16,800 doses that were allocated to Gauteng. We are very happy that we would have covered more than 16,000 healthcare workers. We are here collaborating quite extensively with the private sector. And Chris Hani Baragwana as a site and Steve Biko, those two sites, have done extremely well. Ahead of the 14 days, you remember we had 14 days to complete the vaccination using the 16,800 doses. So today we will complete that. I have walked through here again, even with the private healthcare workers. I can see it on their faces, not just the relief on their faces, but they are quite happy. They are here, and many of them are saying, you know what, waiting to get the vaccine is something we can afford to do. We're not going back without the vaccine. And many of them are saying, look, we have gone through all this period and through the storm of COVID. We have seen it through, but we are here to get the vaccine. And we are ready to move to get the next allocation. We know during the weekend, another batch of doses will arrive. Next week, there's going to be expansion of SARS, because one of the important things is Chris Hani Baragwana Hospital and Steve Biko have been the only two sites. They've been crowded. I mean, there were doctors who came as far as Mpumalanga and Limpopo, GPs who came. And at times our system was getting overrun by the numbers. But I want to commend all the people who have been working on both sides. The MRC has done a tremendously good work in collaboration with our facilities. The people who are managing our facilities here and the healthcare workers, the private healthcare groups are all here. Richard is here coordinating on their behalf. So we have also learned important lessons about when we get to the big mass rollout, how should we be so well prepared? And you know what, the vaccine has to be here. We want more vaccines. We want to reach more people. And the excitement is building up in the country. I am one of those who's waiting on the queue for my turn when we are done with the healthcare workers. I'm waiting for my turn.
Holobye wa swa mitlangu na ndhavuko na Mthethwa u vekile wellness intervention program ya tintlambi na vanhu lava va endlaka swa mitlangu leyi vitaniwaka Silapha eState Theatre ePretoria. U vurile leswaku ku vile na vanhu lava landzelaka eka nongonoko lowu. Lava landzelaka i Nakedi Rabani, Lilian Dube na Joy Bewana na Advocate Steve, naswona a hi languteni.
It is the 26th of February 2021, and today is such an exciting day because the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, Nathi Mthethwa, is launching an artist and athletes wellness program called Silapha. It has a double meaning, Silapa as in to heal, but also we are here for you. And we are at the State Theatre, ladies and gentlemen. We'll make sure to share all the links that you need in order to keep track of the developments. We're going to have artists, we're going to have athletes. Today, I'm super excited about this day. Beautiful. Yay. What is washed up? The whole thing, like it this one looks better.
This is a phone that is a cat. So if you're gonna post.
Hi ya mahlweni na mahungu. Xudufatso Musida loyi a nga n'wambhuri wa laha Afrika-Dzonga na yena u seketerile ndzawulo ya swa mitlangu na ndhavuko. A hi languteni.
Mental health, including depression and anxiety, are often brushed under the carpet. It is often a taboo subject that no one wants to discuss. For this reason, I want to use my platform as Miss South Africa to shine a spotlight on issues of mental health during my year of reign. It's time for us to stop pretending that mental illnesses do not exist. We have to acknowledge that mental illnesses are real and look for ways to help those who are suffering. Through my social media talks called Mindful Mondays, I, together with a mental health care professional, will hold discussions on all matters relating to mental illnesses. So I'm delighted that the Minister's initiatives aims at
Va City of Ekurhuleni va hlanganile na nhloko ya ndzawulo wa swa rihanyo Dr. Gilbert Motlatla eka nkambisiso wa nsawutiso lowu wu nga languteriwa ku va wu tirhisiwa eka vatirhi va le swibedhlele. Patrick Magonza u tivisele nhloko ya ndzawulo ya swa rihanyo Gilbert Motlatla hi ta matirhelo ya vona eka nsawutiso wa Johnson & Johnson loko nkarhi wa ku va wu tirhisiwa wu fika. A hi languteni.
Once you have been verified by the data capturers and the pre-marshals will have allocated you based on the color coding, therefore you present here at the vaccination table where you're going to find a vaccinator ready for you, and then you're going to take a seat there as the healthcare worker or as the client who is supposed to be vaccinated. And the healthcare worker would have readily prepared each and every table. You will therefore see that they're going to have readily their cooler boxes prepacked with the vaccines inside, and we have these forms where they're going to use just to check the temperature of that the vaccines are stored within the correct temperatures. And these are the consumables that the vaccinators will therefore need, including your wastage, your plastics, your syringe. This way you basically get to discard and so forth. And the vaccinator is therefore going to do another verbal consent with you, just to try to explain the process once more, what's going to happen, where they're going to inject you, and so forth, and what to expect, and therefore you give a verbal consent that you say you understand and you agree that they can therefore vaccinate. And once everything has been consented, then the vaccinator will be ready to therefore prepare you to get the vaccine, and you can be vaccinated, including the paperwork which the healthcare worker would have had to verify that you are the right patient as well. Remember, we need to confirm everything throughout that this is the right patient for the right medication.
Va City of Johannesburg va bile na nhlangano laha va nga endla switiviso swa 29 xikan'we no tivisa leswi swi nga ta tlakusa nkwama wa vona. A hi languteni.
Today is our 46th council meeting today. Then we're here today in the Greater Johannesburg in the council meeting. We are going to deal with some motions of the council and also to deal with the budget adjustment. Then the budget adjustment, they go directly, they go positively to impact to the needs of this, the residents of the city of Johannesburg, so that there are a lot of things that the resident that they need, so that they can be able, the city to be able to deliver to the needs of the residents. That is why we are here today. We are here to make it a point that we are going to deliver to the residents of the Greater Johannesburg. Then, and there is a possibility that we can even come back again tomorrow so that we can finish what is a program of the day today. Because there is a possibility that today we won't able.
Va City of Johannesburg va languterile tindlela leti ti nga ta tisa ku cinca eka nkwama wa Ward 124 tanihi leswi kuiwaka eka nhlawulo wa mfumo. A hi languteni.
Here for the first world-class city, and it's our dedication through our leadership through our speaker, and that is why we're here, to make it a point that no, we are going to pass the budget adjustment so that we can be able to give the essential service to our constituents, to the people of the Greater Johannesburg. That is why it's important, so that all of us, we must be here, we must forget about anything else, but we make sure that we are going to pass this budget so that then our constituency, our people, they can get the best service.
Valanguti aya emavhengeleni kambe mi nga fambeli kule hikuva ha vuya nakambe na mahungu lama hi nga mi khomela wona.
Make massive moves.
So from the theatre stage to the kitchen.
I'm anxiously awaiting to see Sanaya.
What else is this if not love?
Make massive moves with Starsat. Make massive moves.
The space race has already started. Russia had got the first object into space.
The coast is as wild today as it was when Europeans settled the continent.
Enormous beasts with enormous thirst. The teams are primed and ready.
They got the first animal into space, and they got the first person.
Time to see what the boys can do.
Make massive moves with Starsat. Make massive moves.
Isn't that your daughter's bib? But the truth is, I feel like Arabella's always with me.
Don't you ever forget this man's face.
Premier ukhensa vaaki va le KZN ku va va kombisile leswaku ku na ku pfumaleka ka mintirho exifundzeninkulu xa vona. U vurile leswaku mfumo wu ta tekela enhlokweni mhaka ya ku endla mintirho ngopfungopfu eka vanhu lava va nga dyondzeka naswona a hi languteni.
You are ready to deliver the speech tomorrow. What can the public expect from the Premier? Briefly.
Well, firstly, we thank all those who participated in contributing through suggestions on what we should focus on and on priorities that are facing the province. We've taken note of all of them. We are convinced that we will be able to respond to the majority of them, and if we are not able, those that are left will be addressed by relevant departments in their budget votes in the next 2 weeks. We are ready for the SOPA, but we believe that we should be realistic and deal with issues that are pertinent and are key to the people of the province, and leading is the whole issue of job creation. Wherever you go, the first problem we face is that of job creation, and we should find a way to deal with job creation meaningfully and find a way of addressing job creation for both the graduates who have graduated but are unemployed, but also for people who have no skills, and therefore we need to address that. We've seen the reports, including the one of the Stats SA, which emphasized that there is a growth of the discouraged unemployed people who, because they are defined as discouraged, are no longer even going to look for work. And it is because they are...
Hiya eka mahungu ya le matikweni mambe. Timhaka ta ku dlayiwa eka Italian ambassador ya le DRC ku humelerile erivaleni, naswona ntlawa wu sukile eGoma hi awara ya 9 hi Musumbunuko nampundzu. Naswona va vula leswaku lava van'wanyana va ntsevu va tarile na nhova, naswona a hi languteni.
The Democratic Republic of Congo has prohibited the travel of ambassadors and heads of diplomatic missions outside the capital Kinshasa without prior authorization. The decision follows the deadly attack on the convoy of the Italian ambassador, Luca Attanasio. On Tuesday, President Felix Tshisekedi's emissary was received in North Kivu. We would obviously like the DRC to be able to say who did what on the Kibumba incident. The DRC has first of all the responsibility to investigate as the host country where the events took place. But everything will depend on the will of other countries. For example, Italy, who lost its ambassador. But we are a country that has very good relations with Italy, and everything will have to be settled in a diplomatic framework. I am not an investigator. Investigations are secret at first. This is not the time to start saying who is arrested or who was not. After the brief meeting, Christian Bushiri, who is senior advisor to President Tshisekedi, visited the family of the Congolese driver who was also killed in the ambush. While we hope that these kinds of atrocities will never happen to other families again, we rest assured that the head of state himself has sent me here to meet with you and present his condolences. He is with you, and when the time comes, he will see to what extent he will come to the east to work nearby. The province.
Asha Mohammed i muchayeri wa mathekisi etikweni ra Somalia eMogadishu naswona va UN va vurile leswaku swa tika ku va n'wansati a va muchayeri endzhawini leyi naswona ku tinyiketela ka yena ku tisele ku cincile mintolovelo ya leswaku mathekisi ya chayeriwa ntsena hi vavanuna endzhawini ya vona. A hi languteni.
In Somalia's capital, Mogadishu, 19-year-old Asha Muhammad had to find a way to support her 2 children when she divorced her husband a year ago. So she turned her passion for video game racing into a job. She became a taxi driver.
When I was little, I was passionate about cars. I wanted to become a pilot one day. I didn't think of becoming a taxi driver in the beginning. But when the taxi company Rikab was started last year, I decided to join them, especially because there weren't any women drivers at the time. I saw an opportunity.
Women face an uphill battle for equal rights in conservative Somalia. The most recent data, in 2012, showed the country among the 4 lowest on a United Nations Gender Equality Index. Divorce is frowned upon. Married at 16, Asha already took a courageous step in leaving her husband. Driving a taxi breaks another stereotype in a male-dominated sector. But her employer, the Rikab Taxi Company, was willing to break the mold when it launched last year.
The number of women taxi drivers was very low because of safety concerns. But since we launched the company, we are recruiting more women.
Somalia has been plunged in chaos for 30 years. The fall of Siad Barre's military regime in 1991 saw clan wars and the rise of radical Islamist group Al-Shabaab. Taxi driving is a risky job. Attackers regularly set off car bombs at
Ya mahlweni na mahungu, tiko ra Togo ri endlile annual festival ya fashion ya swiambalo naswona va tivisile leswaku va tisile ku cinca eka mambalelo ya vanhu va le Afrika naswona a hi languteni loko va karhi va hi kombisa.
The Beninese stylist Miguel Tofohusu is getting ready to show his models an upteenth windfall because he knows that it is an opportunity to promote the fruit of his work. This creator has built his career on his own and is often immersed in on-the-job training during festivals. His current objective is to make his mark in ready-to-wear clothing made in Africa.
La mode se veut aujourd'hui un carrefour.
Fashion today is a crossroads of exchanges where we speak in unison. Everyone must find themselves within the creativity, the message, the culture, the identity of everything we develop. We have to be able to work on this on a strict enough basis so that the finishing touches are there for the consumer to find their way and the data is well studied. The rise of African creators remains challenged by production constraints, as nearly 70% of fashion companies have fewer than 10 employees. Today, in Europe, in Asia, ready-to-wear clothing has taken over because they have adequate machines that are needed to be able to produce thousands of outfits a day. In Africa, on the other hand, it's hard for us to do so. The musical ambience, the catwalk, everything must be up to International Fashion Week standards under Jacques Logo's watch. As for 8 years, the International Fashion Festival.
Valanguti hi fikile emakumu ya mahungu ya hina ya siku ra namuntlha, kambe a hi yini mahlweni hi hlayiseka no tlhela hi landzelela milawu leyi sukaka eka vandzawulo ya swa rihanyo xikan'we na le ka murhangeri wa tiko ra hina ra Afrika-Dzonga ya ku va hi ya mahlweni hi ambala timask no hlamba mavoko no hambana na tindhawu leti ku nga tala kona vanhu, naswona a hi ti hlayiseni naswona hi hlayisana lava hinkwavo lava nga kusuhani na hina, kasi kusuka ka mina na vatirhikuloni hi ri hlayisekani. Inkomu.